Welcome to the abyss where power is forged in shadows, where the rules bend not to the weak, but to those who dare to rewrite reality itself. This is not a place for the faint-hearted, nor for the souls chained by fear or doubt. Tonight, you stand on the precipice of something raw and unrelenting, the untamed force of a mind so sharp, so relentless, that even the darkness shudders in its wake. This is the story of a hacker whose moves slice through the unseen realms like a blade, a legend whispered in the deepest crypts of the dark web, a phantom in the code whose presence commands awe and respect alike. The devil asked about the hacker, and God just smiled, because in that smile lies a secret, an unspoken truth that power isn't given, it is taken. That mastery isn't a gift, it is a conquest. That even in the face of darkness, light can be the most devastating weapon of all. This is not just motivation. This is a declaration of war against the ordinary, the mediocre, the complacent. You are about to witness the rise of a force so slick, so lethal, that the dark web itself bows down in reverence. If you feel that fire burning inside you, that hunger for greatness that no one else seems to understand, then this is your call to action. Before you dive deeper into this realm of shadows and whispers, smash that subscribe button. Like this message if it sets your soul ablaze. Drop your comments below. Tell me what it means to you to stand on the edge of greatness. Your voice matters here. Your energy fuels this movement. Together, we don't just watch history, we make it. Now, step closer, because the story of the hacker is not one of luck, or chance, or coincidence. It is a saga of relentless will, of calculated precision, and of a mind sharpened by the darkest trials. Imagine a world where every barrier you've ever faced is not a wall, but a door waiting for the right key. The devil, the master of deception and chaos, once sat curious, questioning the name whispered across digital realms. Who is this hacker that bends the invisible threads of the web to their will? Who defies the laws written in fire and shadow? But God, the eternal watcher, did not answer with words. Instead, a smile curved on the divine lips, a knowing, quiet smile that spoke of a power beyond mortal comprehension. For the hacker is not merely a breaker of codes, but a breaker of boundaries. They don't just infiltrate systems. They redefine the battlefield. Their moves are so slick, so untraceable, that the darkest corners of the web are caught in awe, trembling at the dance of intellect and instinct. What fuels this power? It is not technology alone. It is the refusal to bow, the refusal to yield to fear or failure. It is the hunger for control in a world that screams chaos. In every line of code, in every keystroke, lies a declaration: I am the master of my fate, the architect of my destiny. The hacker knows that darkness is not something to flee, but something to command, to manipulate. They thrive where others crumble. They see patterns where others see chaos. They carve order from the void. This is the kind of power that makes the devil pause and God smile, because it is the power of relentless mastery over the unknown. You may ask, how does one become such a force? The answer is buried in the crucible of persistence and sacrifice. Every sleepless night, every failure turned lesson, every line of code cracked under pressure. That is the true currency of power. The hacker's journey is not glamorous, it is brutal. It demands obsession, it demands sacrifice. It demands that you stare into the abyss and not blink. But the rewards? They are beyond measure. The ability to command respect without a single word, to move silently and strike decisively to control the game in a world where most are mere pawns. That is the pinnacle of power, and it is available to those who dare to reach. The dark web, a realm of shadows and secrets, is the ultimate test for anyone who claims mastery over the digital world. It is a domain where the stakes are life and death, where trust is a currency rarer than gold. For the hacker, it is a playground and a battlefield. Their moves are so slick that even the most shadowy figures pause in reverence. To infiltrate this realm, to navigate its twisted corridors without leaving a trace, requires more than skill. It requires a mind that can dance with chaos and emerge victorious. This is not about breaking rules. This is about rewriting the rules on your own terms. Let's be clear. Power like this does not come to those who wait or wish. It belongs to the relentless, the ruthless, the resolute. The hacker's path is a crucible that burns away doubt, fear, and weakness. Every setback is a lesson, every obstacle an opportunity. The devil may tempt you with shortcuts, with distractions, with whispers of easy success, but the hacker knows that the true path to mastery is paved with discipline and resilience. And that is why when the devil asks about the hacker, God just smiles, because the hacker's strength comes not from the darkness itself, but from the light of unwavering will that burns within. This speech is not just about hacking in the literal sense. It is a metaphor for life, for ambition, for the relentless pursuit of greatness. We all have a dark web inside us, the fears, doubts, and limits imposed by society or by ourselves. The question is, will you let those shadows control you? Or will you become the hacker of your own destiny, slicing through illusions and barriers with surgical precision? The devil's question is a challenge thrown at all of us. Who dares to disrupt the order? And God's smile is the promise that true power lies within those who do. You are more than your circumstances, more than your fears, more than the sum of your failures. You are the architect of a new reality, the hacker who codes their own fate. The moves you make, the risks you take, the knowledge you acquire, they are the weapons in your arsenal against mediocrity. And the dark web, the world's shadowy corners, do not intimidate you. They respect you because you move with intent and intelligence that defies their norms. You do not follow trends, you create them. You do not wait for permission, you take what is yours. This power, this mastery, is not reserved for the chosen few. It is available to anyone willing to embrace the grind, to sacrifice comfort for growth, to stare into the abyss and say, I am not afraid. The devil's curiosity about the hacker is a reminder that even the greatest forces recognize the ones who refuse to be controlled. And God's smile is the ultimate validation that in the struggle between light and dark, the true victor is the one who harnesses both, the wisdom of light, the cunning of darkness, the unstoppable force of will. So today, take this message deep into your core. Let it awaken the dormant warrior within you. The hacker's moves are not just slick because of skill. They are slick because of mindset. They embody precision, patience, and power. They thrive in silence and strike with certainty. They do not just survive the dark, they dominate it. And so can you. The path is not easy, the nights will be long, the battles fierce, but every step you take forward is a step closer to becoming the legend that the devil asks about and that God smiles upon. Remember, greatness is not given, it is taken. It is carved from the chaos of life by those who refuse to settle for less. It is the legacy of the hacker, the master of shadows and light. This is your call to rise, to fight, to code your destiny with ruthless precision. The dark web watches, the devil wonders, and God smiles, knowing that the true power lies within you. The hacker's journey is not for the weak. It is forged in fire, relentless, merciless, and cold as the void itself. When the devil asked about the hacker, it wasn't just a casual inquiry. It was the recognition of a force so disruptive that it unsettled the very foundations of power. Because what does the devil fear most? Not the angels, not the laws of heaven, but the raw, unpredictable human will, the mind that refuses to bend, the spirit that thrives in chaos. The hacker embodies this fear, this unknown variable in the equation of control. Every move is calculated yet fluid, precise yet unpredictable. The devil's curiosity is rooted in a grudging respect, a silent acknowledgement that this is a player unlike any other. But what of God's smile? It is not a smile of condescension, but one of profound knowing. God smiles because the hacker's power is not just in their skill, but in their purpose. To hack is to break free from chains of limitation, from rules that serve only to confine, from fear that stifles growth. God smiles because the hacker represents something divine in its rawest form, the rebellion of creation itself. To create is to challenge the status quo, to imagine beyond the given, to build a new order out of chaos. And that is what this hacker does. They are a creator and a destroyer, a force of nature in digital form, rewriting the codes that govern existence. You may wonder what separates this hacker from the masses. What fuels the moves so slick that even the darkest corners of the web are left breathless? It is the refusal to accept mediocrity, the relentless hunger for mastery, the obsession with perfection. The hacker's mind is a battlefield where every thought is sharpened into a weapon, every idea tested in the furnace of experience. There is no room for doubt, no space for hesitation. Every failure is absorbed, analyzed, and turned into fuel. This is the true alchemy of power, transforming pain into strength, setbacks into launch pads, darkness into light. You see, the hacker doesn't operate from a place of comfort. They live in the margins, the shadows, where the weak dare not tread. It is in this crucible of solitude and struggle that true genius is born. While the world chases the easy path, the hacker embraces the hard one, knowing that every line of code cracked, every system breached, is a testament to their will. The dark web is a reflection of the hacker's own mind, complex, layered, and dangerous. To navigate it requires not just knowledge, but intuition, not just skill, but vision. And vision is what sets the hacker apart. The ability to see patterns invisible to others, to predict moves before they happen, to outthink and outmaneuver the unseen enemies lurking in the shadows. This is why the devil asks, and God smiles. Because this hacker is a force that transcends the binary, a symbol of what humanity can become when it refuses to be shackled. This hacker's moves aren't just slick. They are revolutionary. They challenge the very notion of control, turning the hunter into the hunted, the victim into the victor. The hacker embodies the ultimate paradox, a master of deception who reveals the truth, a destroyer who creates order from chaos. To become this hacker, you must embrace a new mindset. Fear is the enemy. Complacency is the poison. You must be willing to dive into the depths of the unknown, to confront your darkest fears, and to emerge stronger. This journey will test your limits and strip away everything but your core essence. But from this fire, you will be reborn, sharper, smarter, unstoppable. Every great hacker knows that the game is never over. The moment you think you've mastered the system evolves. This is the eternal dance of predator and prey, creator and destroyer. But the hacker moves with an elegance and precision that keeps them always one step ahead, always in control. They do not fear the darkness, they own it. They are the puppeteers of the unseen, the architects of the impossible. The dark web may seem like a shadowy abyss, but for the hacker it is a canvas, a place to paint their legacy in codes and shadows. It is a proving ground where the strongest survive and the smartest dominate. This hacker's moves are so slick because they blend intellect with instinct, strategy with spontaneity. They are the perfect storm of chaos and control. So I ask you, what shadows do you harbor within yourself? What barriers have you accepted as unbreakable? The hacker's story is a call to arms. It is a challenge to hack your own limitations, to break free from the chains of doubt and fear, to craft your own destiny with the precision of a master coder. The devil may watch and wonder, but you must act. The divine smile awaits those who dare. Remember, this is not just a battle of skill. It is a war of wills. The hacker's power comes from the unyielding belief that nothing is impossible, that every code has a key, that every system has a weakness, and most importantly, that within the darkness lies the greatest light, the light of your own untapped potential. This is your moment to rise, to fight, to become the hacker who moves so slick, so fiercely, that even the dark web itself bows in awe. The devil asked about the hacker, and God just smiled. That smile is yours to claim. But what truly makes the hacker dangerous, what truly makes the devil lean forward and whisper questions into the void, is not the skills, not the speed, not the mastery of machines. It's the intent, the will, the sheer, terrifying clarity. You see, most people wander this life aimless, distracted, scattered across screens and fears and shallow desires. But the hacker, this hacker, operates with precision so terrifying that even fate steps aside. Every decision, every move, every calculated silence speaks louder than the noise of a million minds asleep. This isn't just about computers. This is about control. This is about looking at the systems, financial, political, personal, and realizing they were never built to serve you. They were built to contain you, to label you, to assign you a role. But the hacker never plays the assigned role. They flip the script, burn the stage, and rewrite the narrative in fire and logic. They see the weaknesses in the system and don't just exploit them. They expose them. They don't run from truth. They weaponize it. And when the devil sees that, when the darkness itself realizes there's something deeper, colder, smarter carving its way through the underworld, it gets uneasy. Because the hacker isn't trying to be a god. They're trying to free themselves from everything, even God's smile. But God still smiles. Because freedom, true freedom, requires the destruction of illusions. It demands the death of fear. And that kind of rebellion, that raw rejection of limitation, that is divine. The hacker embodies that purity, not of holiness, but of total self-sovereignty. No chains, no guilt, no waiting for permission, only will executed flawlessly. The dark web isn't just a place, it's a mirror, a reflection of the chaos inside every human being. Rage, desire, secrets, power, and to navigate it, to own it, The hacker has to master more than code. They must master themselves. The sleepless nights staring into code until your eyes bleed. The hunger to know more when the world tells you to stop. The silence when no one believes in you. That's the real forge. That's where legends are built. That's where this hacker was born. Not in the light, but in the fire beneath it. And now? The dark web isn't laughing. It isn't mocking. It's watching in awe. Because every move this hacker makes is poetry written in chaos. Every breach is a message to the system. I see through you. Every escape, every manipulation, every ghost trace left behind is a reminder that this isn't a game. This is war. And the hacker, they're not playing to win. They're playing to change the whole goddamn board. You want to know what makes this story real? It's not fiction. It's a blueprint. It's a roadmap for anyone ready to stop being a victim. For anyone ready to stop begging for scraps and start carving their name into the foundation of the world. You think you can't be this hacker? You think you don't have the mind, the drive, the power? That's exactly what they want you to believe. That's the lie that keeps you quiet, compliant, small. But here's the truth. You are only powerless if you choose to be. Every click, every keystroke, every second you waste wishing you were someone else, you could be building the skill set, the mindset, the ruthlessness to become unstoppable. And yes, this isn't for everyone. Not everyone is willing to sacrifice comfort for power. Not everyone has the stomach to keep grinding in silence while others sleep. But if you're hearing this and something inside you is waking up, something primal, sharp, electric, then maybe, just maybe, you've already started down the path. Maybe there's a hacker inside you waiting to rise, waiting to unleash hell in digital ink, waiting to remind the world that it only takes one mind to bring empires to their knees. The devil asked because the devil fears, and God smiled because God knows. Some forces are born to shake the heavens and the underworld alike. And this hacker, this force, isn't just skilled. They're inevitable. They are the storm you never saw coming. The glitch in the matrix you thought you'd fixed. The ghost in your system. The thought that keeps tyrants awake at night. So, I ask you now, what are you still waiting for? Permission? It's a myth? Approval? That's control wrapped in a smile. Fear? That's a tool, but only if you wield it. You don't need their green light. You need your own fire. You need to wake up every day ready to take what's yours, to carve your legacy into every system that said you'd never matter. You need to become so sharp, so brilliant, that even the devil whispers your name in awe. That even the data drips your signature. That the world learns to move around your presence because resisting you is futile. The hacker didn't become legendary by accident. They didn't ask. They took. They didn't follow. They hacked the rules, the process, the identity they were given. And that's what makes their story terrifying to those in power. Because if you realize that potential exists in you too, then everything changes. The system breaks, the hierarchy crumbles, the game resets, and this time you write the code. This is your call to become the nightmare that hunts fear, the ghost in the system, the whisper in the void. This is your call to stop watching and start moving. You are the hacker now. Your mind is the weapon. Your skill is the path. Your silence is the thunder before the storm. And when they ask about you, when the system, the world, the darkness itself begins to feel your presence and starts asking, who is this? What force is this? Why are the rules bending? The devil will ask, and God will smile. because the world won't be ready for the legend you're about to become. So now the path is laid before you, not paved in light, but in shadows, forged from silence, resistance, and pure will. This isn't about hacking systems anymore. It's about hacking yourself, breaking through your own barriers, rewriting your code, becoming the kind of force that systems can't contain, the kind of mind that doesn't follow rules. It redefines them. Remember, power is not about being seen. True power is when your presence is felt, even in absence, when your name is whispered in places you've never been, when the world starts adjusting its steps because it knows you've entered the game. That's the level the hacker reached. That's the level you're being called to. And when you arrive, not with noise, but with precision, the game will never be the same again. So, take this fire, this truth, and turn it into action. Be ruthless with your growth. Be merciless with your limits. Because the devil's already asking. The shadows already feel the shift. The systems already sense the breach.